Hello and welcome to another V's Cards video. My name is Veronika Čuić. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia. And in this video I'll show you how to craft a fun and easy peekaboo card. I'll offer you suggestions on how to use the celebration products, and I'll also step it up with a pop-up, all in approximately 10 minutes. Let's get started. I'm using the adorable owl stamp set. It's the hero of the show and it's a celebration freebie. I'm also using the Fancy Flora DSP, and that's a 6x6. Okay, I'm going to be doing some stamping. I'm tapping and stamping, and then I'll be doing some colouring in. Obviously, I don't want you to spend hours watching me colour, so I'm doing that at a very high speed for you and just giving you the gist of using the darker and lighter colours to create a beautiful owl colour. Often when I'm exploring a new product, I like to do variations. So as you can see, I'm doing it all in bulk. While I've got my stamping blends out, I may as well do quite a few. I'm not the best colouriner in the world, but I do enjoy having a go, and I think that the stamping blends are fairly forgiving. I start off normally with the lighter colour and then come in with the darker colour and pull the two colours together with the lighter colour again as they meet in the middle. With this project I'm attempting to do some colour matching either with designer series paper or the cardstock and one colour of the owl. So for example, I'm using Granny Apple Green for one of the eyes of the owl, and I'm going to use Granny Apple Green for the actual cardstock. So I want to try and make that colour connection to pull everything together. I don't have all the colours of the stamping blend, so I'm just working with what I have at home. Some of the limited skin tone edition blends have retired, but I'm using those as well. To all the new and returning followers, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please take a moment to like the video and subscribe if you're not yet a subscriber. Thank you so much for your support and for sharing the channel as well. You are most appreciated. For this project, I've used the third largest circle die and the second largest scalloped circle die. I'm now searching for some possibilities to see where the colour match would work best with my coloured in owls and the beautiful designer series paper that I'm going to be using as a background. By cutting the designer series paper into small rectangular panels, I'm actually saving a lot of paper, and I can repeat this project over and over again because I'm only using a little bit per card. And for the inside, I can also afford to use the designer series paper in small strips as well. Here you can see I'm using the second smallest of the fatter dies, and I've cut it in half so that I can use the top half and the bottom half at either end of the insert there. So this card is definitely a money saver where you're showing off your beautiful designer series paper very carefully so that you can make the most of it. So I'm going to cut a scalloped hole at the front, card front, and then I'm going to use that to create a smaller circle so that I can cover it up on the inside so I'm not wasting card. Now you don't have to cover it up if you don't mind, but if you want to go that little step extra, then do so. I'm using a happy birthday sentiment from a stamp set in the annual catalogue. During celebration, it's quite an exciting time to shop because you can shop both the annual catalogue as well as the mini catalogue, and you've got some celebration freebies that you can earn. Don't worry if you don't have all the details of the products. I'll have a link in the description below that will link you straight to all the products to craft this project. I always like to lay out the pieces and layers onto the card first before I adhere, and I can use one that I've already made earlier as a guide to measure up how far into the card I need those pieces. I'm looking at centering from the left to right as well as the bottom and top of the inside. And I want to slightly overlay the basic white cardstock onto the designer series paper. I've cut my window sheets at 3.5 inches by 3.5. And I've used the negative of the circle cardstock to cover it up on the inside so that you don't see the back of the owl. That's an optional extra. You can keep your project as simple or as complicated as you like. And then I'm going to snugly fit some tear and tape around that scalloped circle and adhere the window sheet to the card at the back. It's a good idea to press down on the backing of that tear and tape before you try peeling it. Now I've lost my Take-A-Pick tool and I am in a hurry, so I decided to fumble a little bit and try and peel it off myself. I'm using 4 dimensionals to pop up the owl, and it will also cover up that happy birthday sentiment that I've used, which is sort of the whole point of the peekaboo card. So you can see the window trimming on the outside of the circle, and there is the surprise wording on the inside. Another optional extra is to cover up the back of that owl by using the negative of the scallop circle that I used to cut the hole in the front. After I adhere the strips of DSP, I'm going to add the sentiment and pop it up with dimensionals. I find that natural colours work best with this project because when I think of owls, I think of natural colours. But you can get away with using bright colours like granny apple green in some parts as well, for example when I use the eyes. Here's a more visual look at the different size dies that I use for this project. And now it's time to add the bling. If you're in Melbourne, especially if you're in the Water Gardens area and you're interested in doing card making classes, we're running classes beginning this Wednesday, so contact me and I'll give you the details of where you can contact me in the description below. Here's a what not to do tip. Bear in mind that you'll need to stamp the sentiment on the inside a little bit lower so that the see-through component of the card doesn't reveal the sentiment. If that doesn't bother you, that's fine. Otherwise, just go a little bit lower and you should be right to go. Now for the step-up component of the card. This is the pop-up on the inside. First you're going to measure, score and cut a lever or a small mechanism, and then you're going to adhere it to the inside of the card and to the part of the pop-up section, which will be the small scalloped owl. It's as though the owl image is sitting up on an easel. I'm making out as though it is the greater than mathematics symbol, and so it's the pointing part is pointing inside the card and the open part is coming in from the outside. And I'll leave a little bit of space so it's not directly touching the edge of that circle, because the scalloped circle where the owl is slightly smaller and I don't want the lever to be visible. So we're now coming to the conclusion of this video. I hope you enjoyed it and that I've inspired you to try something new. Thank you so much for watching and Happy New Year. If I haven't said so already, see you in 3 weeks' time. Take care and happy crafting.